Lando Norris, who is currently 22 years old and one of the sport's most promising young drivers, made his F1 debut at McLaren when he was still a teenager and scored his first points in just his second race, with his recent career-high sixth-place finish in the World Championship standings. The English driver has furthered the notion that he is a future potential champion, demonstrating why there was such excitement surrounding him in each of his 3 seasons. Lando Norris, the driver for McLaren, is half British and half Belgian. But what else do we know about him besides his obvious driving abilities? Number 1. The Belgian heritage. He is the son of Belgian woman 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤 𝐘𝐨𝐮 and British businessman Adam Norris. Norris once attempted to display his Belgian heritage by wearing a specially designed helmet before the Belgian Grand Prix, but the move backfired. The design featured the Flemish region's flag, a black lion on a yellow background. Norris claimed he was unaware of any possible political concerns over the design, which Belgium's far-right party adopted. He intended to use the design as a homage to his maternal grandparents, a photo of whom he once displayed. Norris claims that I wasn't aware of the connotations around the use of this particular motif when I designed the helmet, but as soon as I was, it was clear that it was inappropriate to continue using it. He views Belgium's round of the World Championship as his second home race because of his connections to the nation. Number 2. Youngest karting champion. Norris, who is the youngest ever karting world champion, won the cadet karting division of junior races in Britain in 2010. The following year, Norris atoned for his failure to win the World Junior Championship by becoming, at the age of 14, the youngest driver ever to win the World Championship in the top KF category. His 2013 season was a standout campaign that produced silverware in the KF Junior Championship, as well as the Super Cup and Euro Series. The search is on for the following Lando Norris. Lando competed in kart racing for 7 years, winning the world title in 2014 after winning the European Championship in 2013. Many of the people who had mentored him during his karting career were there. Returning to the South Guardia karting track in Italy, where he had previously competed and where he had grown up and attended one of his first European races, brought back many memories for Lando. He was competing in a different kart than one driven by Fernando Alonso, and he felt bad for a young boy who used to be quite cool. He added that he is in a position where some of the children who are currently driving could soon get to operate his vehicle. And he thinks it's cool to know you're making someone happy, and you're putting something together that you know will hopefully encourage younger children to mature and try out the racing set. Number 3. Rich dad. He's an F3 champion, and his dad sounds loaded. Yeah, Lance Stroll experienced the same thing. However, Lando Norris' father Adam is 46,200 million pounds older and has a net worth estimated at 1.8 billion than Lawrence Stroll, who is 68 years old. That's because Adam Norris, who has a personal fortune of 205 million pounds, is ranked number 18 on the 2016 Bristol Rich list. He was appointed Executive Director of Pensions directly when he was just 33 years old. He established one of the most prosperous organizations providing pension advice, and at age 36 he retired. Therefore, Norris has had little need during his rise through the junior categories, which costs about 300,000 euros in a single season of karting. If you want many new sets of tires or parts, you can spend much more, and that cost will only increase as you go. Number 4. My first interest in racing. His initial racing passion was actually from MotoGP. Norris claimed he wasn't a fan of auto racing. He visited the karting track for the first time at Clay Pigeon in Dorset when he was 7 years old. I was more into MotoGP, to be honest, he admitted, but he soon demonstrated a talent for the sport and advanced through the junior divisions alongside his brother Oliver, who is 3 years older. McLaren was revitalized by his Formula One debut season in 2019. After the team had endured years of troubling form, Norris entered his first season at McLaren with relatively low expectations. However, his partnership with the team there with Sainz seemed to invigorate the team, and they finished fourth in the Constructors' title with much more than double the points total of 2018. Number 5. Lando Norris Sports. Lando Norris established his own sports team and launched his own sports, known as Quadrant. He has significantly impacted the gaming industry in recent years, growing his Twitch audience to approximately 679,000 followers. Lando has gained notoriety by competing for McLaren and participating in esports and sim racing events, such as the virtual Grand Prix series of Formula One. He conducted the quadrant reveal live on stream, which was followed by some enjoyable group activities. He says that he is very proud of what they've accomplished and what they've created. It's something he has been working on for a while, and he was super excited to launch it. It's basically an esports team, but we're going to be doing 4 things at once. Hence the name Quadrant Gaming Content Clothing and Accessories and Racing, says Lando. Number 6. Valentino Rossi. Lando says 9-time motorbike world champion Valentino Rossi inspired him to become who he is today. Norris has been open about how much he respects the late MotoGP rider Rossi, even going so far as to create a special tribute helmet and pair of boots for the Italian. He started races 11 times before his teammate throughout the course of the season. Norris' best finish came at the second race in Bahrain with a 6th place finish. He claimed that he began watching Valentino before turning on Formula One. Valentino was the first racer he ever watched when he was around 4 years old, whether it was in cars, motorcycles, rallies, or anything else. As a young child, he looked up to Valentino and often daydreamed of being just like him. He claims that there are still traits and qualities that he might possess that are similar to Valentino's, such as the color scheme and design of Norris' helmet, as well as the simple things he enjoyed doing. He claims that Rossi was the person who motivated him to become the person he is today. He was immediately enamored with racing after witnessing it. Lando first watched the MotoGP before becoming somewhat interested in all forms of racing, including Formula One, rallying, and GT cars. Number 7. Mental health. With the media on his back and a sport that attracted 433 million viewers in 2020, he serves as an ambassador for mental health. Noise acknowledges that he has struggled with anxiety and depression. He said, "I guess people from when they just watch TV don't realize how many things a driver goes through. It's a bit of a shame, but there are more programs now where you get to see what the driver is like behind the scenes and the amount of pressure and stress that they have to cope with, especially at my age. Coming to Formula One at 19, there's a lot of eyes on you, so dealing with all these kinds of things took its toll on me." Norris claimed that working with the mental health nonprofit Mind and receiving support from his McLaren team helped him significantly improve his mental health right now. Speaking to McLaren, speaking to the people in his immediate vicinity, and to his trusted friends and also Mind, he claims that he is now in a much better and happier place, and that he can now fully enjoy everything that he does. He claims that this is because of his partnership with Mind, which has greatly benefited him and has also greatly benefited many other people at McLaren, as well as in the world at large. Number 8. In golf. In his free time, he plays golf. Norris may have learned the game from his former McLaren teammate Carlos Sainz, who enjoys the game and was seen playing with his father on a round of golf in the most recent season of the Netflix Drive to Survive series. However, he will undoubtedly have developed a greater passion for the game after having the amazing opportunity to play with a legendary Ryder Cup player following the U.S. Grand Prix. Ian Poulter joined Norris and McLaren CEO Zak Brown on a course in Texas, and they posted pictures of the event to Instagram, showing the golf legend offering the McLaren executives some advice, while the course's gorgeous scenery served as their backdrop. However, Charlotte Sefton, his friend and publicist, doesn't appear to be a fan of the sport and has made fun of the racer for taking part. In response to one of the race's posts about golf, the Joker said, "You went from a gamer to a retired old man in 3 months." But Norris was quick to defend the game, saying, "Golf is not for old people. That's just what everyone thinks." Norris is no longer just a face on the track. We now know more about him.